Let's start seated today. So come to your cushion or to your block. Make sure your weight moves forward. Once you're sitting down on your block, make sure that you allow your weight to move forward so that you can feel supported by your sit bones and your leg bones, by your shins. The soles of your feet can be kind of facing upwards or in towards your body. And then let's just take a moment to arrive onto the mat. Soften the shoulders, let the hands rest on the lap or on the knees. Close the eyes. Begin to follow the rhythmic movement of breath. At first, just following the breath, not trying to deepen or lengthen it in any way. Feel as the diaphragm expands with the inhale, flattens out, and then feel as the diaphragm pulls in, contracts with the exhale, allowing the breath to push out of the lungs. So envision here your entire torso expanding and contracting. Envision how your spine moves with this expansion and contraction, how the ribs move. Hips and lower limbs are steadfast, strong. They're your foundation here, grounded. Continue to keep this focus on the breathing. As you start to calm or quiet the thoughts, the goings-on of the mind. And with the next exhale, let's begin to tuck the chin towards the chest, compressing here through the throat. This is our Jalandhara Bandha, our throat lock. It's a little bit tough to swallow and a little bit tough to breathe here when you're holding this lock. Feel the lengthen back of neck as the compression increases in the front of the throat. Continue the breath. And then exhale, blink the eyes open, awareness back into your space, lift the chin, roll the shoulders back, opening through heart. As you extend the shoulders back, the heart opens. As you bring the shoulders forward, they contract forward, bringing the shoulder blades away from each other. So just a couple of rotations there. And then gently coming back to center. Inhale, draw the right arm up, extend. We're gonna take this left hand to the right arm, or right wrist, and pull the whole body over to the side. So feel how that feels. If this is too much for you today to start with, you can just leave left hand on the floor. Feel that stretch through the right side, all the way down into the hip. And then exhale, coming back to center. Switch your grip or release right hand to the floor and take it up and over. Finding the stretch on the left side body now. Keep drawing in through core, lengthening up through rib cage, grounding your sit bones deep into your block or into your cushion. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. And then exhale, coming back to center. Lengthen up to the spine, maybe even gaze up towards thumbs. Exhale, hands to heart. Good. Let's go ahead and roll over onto hands and knees. So you're not gonna need your cushion for now. We're gonna move into a couple of postures where we will need some props, so don't have them too far away. All right, so from here, coming onto hands and knees, Find your weight distribution here between your hands and your knees, maybe rolling weight forward, weight back. Keep drawing in through navel, pressing strong through fingers, engage into shoulders, nice strong lifted elbows. And then from here, roll and tuck in into rounding your spine into cat. Chin towards chest, shoulders fan away. Inhale, swaying up into cow, tailbone tilts up. You feel a stretch from the pubic bone into the lower belly, up towards the belly button, up into your middle abdomen, all the way to your solar plexus, into your chest, between your scapula, all the way up into your chin. Deep stretch in the front body, contraction in the back body. And then exhale, move again from one to the other, this time a little faster, maybe at the rhythm or the pace of your own exhalation and your own inhalation. You can incorporate your Ujjayi breath here. That resonating breath, the breath with sound. Let's do two more. Last one. As you make your way all the way up into your cow, exhale, coming to flat back, tucking the toes under. Let's press up to our downward facing. So find your downward facing dog here. Plant the hands nice and firm and strong. You can separate your feet about hip width apart. Reach your chest through. But first you feel a little bit tight. Bend your knees to get your hips up and then let your head hang. Press into the shoulders, so you shouldn't be feeling weight forward over your hands. Bend your knees and get your weight back. Back, far back as you can get it. Now as you press strong through the fingertips and you exhale, see if you can press the heels down, maybe one at a time, maybe both together. Gaze towards your upper thighs, contract your quads and lift your kneecaps up to engage into your legs, stretching into your hamstrings. Hold it here for 5. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhaling, looking forward between the hands, walking or stepping your feet to the top of your mat, bringing your toes and heels together. Fingertips on the floor, inhale, lengthen spine. Now here, try to roll your weight forward to the balls of your feet. If your weight is back towards your heels, you're gonna feel like you're gonna fall down backwards. So bring your fingertips forward, bring the weight forward, lift the chest, roll the shoulders back, flat back. And then exhale, Uttanasana, let your body hang, let your body relax, forward fold, shoulders soften. Feeling that stretch in the backs of the legs, warming up those hamstrings to get ready for our practice today. Bend through the knees, draw in through belly, inhale, slowly roll yourself up, one vertebrae at a time. So really start to kind of stack the vertebrae, starting from your lower back and moving all the way up into your middle, thoracic spine, and all the way into your neck, your cervical spine. So once we're upright, shoulders soften. Let's take a moment here to find balance on the feet. So if you like, you can move the weight purposely forward so that the heels come off, purposely back so that the toes come off the floor, and then side to side, just to notice how you can find your center. And then kind of start to make those movements a little bit slower until you can find right in the middle of your foot where the ball part of your foot and your heel are pressed down into the floor, all kind of 3 corners here. Heel and the pinky toe and big toe side of the ball of the foot. This creates that triangular shape. It's nice and sturdy, it's strong. From there, lift up through the legs. So you're creating that nice contraction in the quads, lifting up through the kneecaps, the shins and the calves are strong. And the arms hang down, feeling nice extension here in the shoulders, just pulling down away from the ear. Let's start with Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, draw the arms up. Extending up towards sky, look up towards thumbs. Draw in through navel, open your heart, lift your chin up, gaze towards your thumbs. So everything extending up. Tailbone tucks under, slightly press into the floor strong. Exhale, slowly forward fold, hinging from the hips. You can soften your knees here to come down. Once you come down, let your hands relax by your feet. Head extends, shoulders soften. Imagine bringing tip of your nose to your shins. Inhale, lift up halfway. Keep the fingertips on the floor for balance. Roll the weight forward. Keep engaging into those three corners of the feet like we discussed before. And then exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands on the floor, and gently walk your feet back to come to your high plank. So once you're in your high plank, draw in through belly, protract through shoulders, engage into the shoulder girdle here, draw in through the belly, and then lower down, either knees down, chest down, or just simply chaturanga. Inhale, coming into upward facing, pressing into your hands, shoulders rolling back, lifting the heart, lifting the chest, gazing forward or gazing up. Exhale, roll over your toes, coming back to your downward facing dog. Might step in the feet just a little bit here to find the length between hands and feet. Needs to be appropriate here for your body. If you're too close, your feet too close to your hands, you won't feel this as much into your shoulders. And if your feet and hands are too far away, you will have a hard time staying. So split the difference, find that happy medium. Keep creating length from fingertips to shoulders, shoulders to hips, and then from the hips all the way down to the heels. One more breath, inhale. Slow exhale. Inhaling, looking forward. We're gonna walk or step our feet forward, top of the mat. Toes and heels come together. Inhale, lengthening through spine, creating space here through the shoulders. Exhale, surrender. Inhaling, arms coming up, extending all the way up. Reach and lengthen, palms together. Gaze up towards thumb, ground your feet firm into the floor, look up. And exhale, hands to heart. So we're gonna start moving into a Suriname start a little bit faster. Inhale, arms coming up. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, step, walk, or if you like, you can jump your feet back to your high plank, and from there, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing, and exhale, down. Hold here for 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Inhaling, looking forward, walking, stepping, or jumping your feet, top of your mat. Toes and heels come together. Lengthen through spine. Exhale, surrender. Inhaling, arms coming up, extending all the way to sky, palms touch, gaze up, ground your feet strong. Exhale, hands to heart. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 5 breaths. And every next inhale, exhale, looking forward. Inhale, step, walk, or jump. Lengthen through spine. Exhale, surrender. Inhaling, arms up, extend all the way. Reach and stretch, palms come together, gaze up. Exhale, hands to heart. Moving into Surya Namaskar B, we'll only do 2 sets. Bend your knees, sit down, reach your fingertips to the floor so you can kind of graze the fingertips to the floor. Barely touching, you're not putting any weight on your hands. Keep your hips down, inhale, arms come up, look up towards thumbs. Fold as you reach the fingertips forward. Exhale, forward fold, hinging from the hips, lifting up. Through the hips, head releases. Inhale, lengthen the spine halfway. Exhale, step, walk, or jump. Chaturanga Dandasana, engage into your shoulders. Inhale, arms pressing straight, looking up. Exhale, downward facing. Take your left heel down, step your right foot between your hands. Pivot the back heel to the floor. Inhale, coming up, warrior one. Sit down strong, gaze up towards thumbs. Exhale, hands to the floor. Right foot steps back for an extra challenge. Keep that right leg lifted, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing, looking up. Exhale, down. Left side, right foot pivots in. Left foot comes between the hands, big step. Inhale, coming up. Gazing up towards thumbs. Sit down strong, reach through the fingertips. Exhale, hands to the floor. Left foot back, again for that challenge, lift the leg, lower down. Inhale, upward facing, opening heart to sky. Exhale, downward facing. Hold here, 5 breaths. So as we start to move into Surya Namaskar B, we start to put in a little bit more effort, which will cause the breath to kind of fall out of that rhythmic movement. So then when we come back here to our downward facing, we reconnect with the rhythm of the breath. Slow inhale, easy, gentle exhale. Keep the belly drawn in, keep the spine long, reach the heels down, find stretch in your hamstrings. And then inhale, looking forward, step, walk, or jump your feet. Lengthening through spine. Exhale, surrender. Inhale, arms up and sit the hips down. Shoulders roll back, Utkatasana. Exhale, hands to heart. Last one, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Right foot forward, left heel pivots. Inhale. Exhale. Right leg lifted, lower down. Inhale. Exhale. Left foot forward, right heel pivots. Inhale. Exhale. Left leg lifted for a challenge. Chaturanga. Inhale up. And exhale down. 5 breaths. Our downward facing dog eventually ends up looking and feeling more like a resting posture in comparison to the other postures we've been doing. So take this time to rest. If you feel like you need more of a rest, bring your knees down and come into Balasana, your child's pose. And inhale, looking forward. Step, walk, or jump your feet. Lengthening your spine. Exhale, release. Inhale, sit your hips down, coming into Utkatasana. Arms extend. Hips down, exhale, hands to heart. Good job, beautiful. So let's take a moment here to continue to stretch a little bit into the hamstrings. Separate your feet about hip width apart, but your toes stay parallel to each other. Hands at the waist, inhale, lengthen spine, and exhale, fold, grab your big toes. So you wanna actually pick up your big toes with your index and middle finger. Lengthen through spine, heel, roll weight forward, and then exhale, fold. Pulling your upper body down towards your thighs. If you're very tight in your hamstrings, a little softness in the knees is okay. Otherwise, try to keep those legs contracted, so quadriceps contracted, kneecaps lifted. As you lengthen spine and you fold, keep the length of the spine. Try not to round your spine and surrender your belly. Keep the belly pulled in, tailbone reaching up, head towards the space between your two big toes. And then inhale, lift halfway. We're gonna step the right foot underneath the right hand underneath the right foot and left hand underneath the left foot. Padangusthasana. So as you bring your weight forward, I like to kind of squish my wrists here and my hands, so you start to feel a little bit more weight forward on your hands. Keep contracting deeply through your belly, and then exhale, pull. Let the head hang. Shoulders soften, no tension here. One more breath. And then inhale, lengthen through spine. Exhale, release one hand, release the other. We're gonna open the feet wide and come down into our malasana, our squat pose. So sit the hips down. Make sure you have room here on either sides. Use your elbows to open up through your knees and lift your chest in the middle here, finding the stretch, finding your posture. If this is really hard for you and you have a hard time balancing, you can place like a block or a cushion underneath your hips. That's gonna keep you elevated and in the posture. If you don't have anything underneath your hips, you're obviously using more of your core strength, your legs and your hips to keep you elevated, to keep you strong, lifted, and in the posture. Gaze straight forward, find connection with breath. Try to release tension anywhere where tension is no longer needed. So for example, we don't need tension at our lips. Soften your lips. Soften your gaze. Soften the muscles of your neck. And then exhale, go ahead and bring the fingertips to the floor, lengthen your body forward and roll yourself all the way to seated. Once you're in seated, let's come into a little bit of a Navasana position. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna work on our Navasana slowly. Make sure that all the time through Navasana, you pull in tight through your lower belly. We're gonna start with a little bit of a rounded back. So keep your feet on the floor. They can be flat on the floor. You can have your hands on your shins or at your thighs. And then you're gonna roll yourself back until you're in that space between your sit bones and your tailbone. It's the space right in between the two. Pull in through belly, hold it in, a little bit of round and forward with your spine. Bring your knees in towards the body, and go ahead and lift your feet. So you can keep holding on to your shins like this. It's gonna give you a little bit more softness in the back. But if you wanna try, you can try to extend the arms forward. Keep sucking in through that belly, hold it in tight. Don't let it expand out. Shoulders roll back, gaze towards your toes, pull in, pull in, pull in. Bring your knees together, don't let them fall out to the sides. And then exhale, cross your feet, tuck them under, hands behind the feet, lift up, rounding the spine, gauging into shoulders, drawing in through belly, exhale, release. Let's do that 2 more times. Go ahead and lean back, find that spot between the sit bones and the tailbone. You're gonna have to wiggle your way through. Lift the knees, round the spine, pull in through belly as best you can, and then arms forward. This time, if you wish, you can try to straighten the legs, your choice. For your full Navasana, gaze towards your toes, shoulders back, keep rounding into the spine, suck in through the belly. Exhale, cross your feet, tuck them under, hands behind the feet, push your butt up, stay here, hold 3, 2, and 1, release it down. Good, last one. Coming back, find your space where you're gonna balance, and when you're ready, either full Navasana or knees bent. Hold there, 5. Pull in through belly, 4. Pull the shoulders back and down away from the ears, 3. Keep those legs straight, don't give up. 2, I see you, Patty, don't give up. Gotcha, 1, good job. Go ahead, roll those toes under, press into the hands, lift up, hold it there, 3, 2, and 1, release. Woo, good work. Okay, so from here, we're gonna extend the legs forward for Paschimottanasana. So feet extend forward, flex through the feet. We've warmed up the core muscles, which we are gonna need in a moment when we go into our pigeon pose. But we're also trying to find that the muscles in the back that keep our spine straight. So finding Dandasana position before coming into Paschimottanasana is really important. Dandasana position is like our standing posture before we begin our Surya Namaskar. Pressing the palms into the floor, the shoulders roll back, the rib cage lifts, the feet flex, but you want to keep your heels on the floor. Don't flex so much that the heels come off. Keep the quadriceps contracted and the heels pressed down. Toes pointed towards your face. Shoulders move back and away from the body, and press into the arms a little bit, almost like you want to lift your butt off the floor, but don't. Keep your butt down. Hold here for 3. Gaze down to bridge of your nose, tip of your nose, 2. And 1. Exhale, leaning forward, find your toes. If you can't find your toes, use a strap, use an extra towel, use something that you can reach for your feet. Now, once you have your toes, inhale, lengthen spine, keep your arms straight. Now, there's 2 ways that you can come into Paschimottanasana. One is to just surrender, rounding your spine and letting yourself come down, forehead down. And 2 is to keep that extension, so you're still working on those side back muscles to keep that extension and fold from that place. So you're hinging from your hips as you come down. So you can find which way feels right for you today. Maybe it's a combination of both. One way isn't necessarily better than the other, it's different, and you're stretching different parts of your body. So when you surrender in the forward fold by rounding your spine, letting your head come down, you're feeling that roundness in the back, and the stretch in the hamstrings isn't quite as intense. But when you lengthen and you imagine rib cage to knees, then the stretch in the hamstrings becomes really intense and you start to really feel it. You want to lengthen through the top of your head as you bring your body forward. Now, once you're there in the full position, we're going to inhale, lengthen up. Everybody come halfway up. Keep holding on to the toes. We're going to try to reach the grip to the sides of the feet. Or if you're using the strap, just walk your hands down the strap. From here, exhale and fold. If your elbows come to the floor, try not to rest on your elbows. So even if your elbows touch the floor, keep your arms engaged and keep a lengthening through your torso. Flex your feet back towards your face, shoulders roll back, either gaze to toes or lengthen neck and gaze down towards your calves. And then inhale, extend the spine, and exhale, slowly come back up. Good. We're gonna point the toes for our reverse plank, hands behind the body. Point the fingertips towards your body, shoulders roll back. As you inhale, we're gonna lift up through the hips, pointing the toes down towards the floor and letting the head drop back. Hold it here. 5, hips up, belly in. 4, strong shoulders, strong arms. 3, keep pointing the toes down towards the floor, hips up. 2, good. And 1, slowly come down. Woo, very nice. Shake out those legs. Okay, so before we go into our pigeon pose, we're gonna do something a little bit different. Take your right knee, bend it so that the top of your shin lines up with the top of your mat. And then take your left leg behind. So if you know that you have tight hips, I know that I have tight hips, and for me this is tough. So I'm gonna demonstrate it how I do it for me. You're gonna place your bolster or your block in front of your right shin. And with this left leg back, you want to keep it comfortable. So some people say extend it all the way back so that it's like at that same 90-degree angle. For me, that's too much. So I'm going to bend it just a little bit, just in order to get my left hip forward and down. And then from there, we're going to fold. So this is like a half pigeon, okay? So your left leg in pigeon, normally it's extended all the way back. In this one, it's bent and you're rotating your body down. So maybe bringing forehead to the block or to your cushion. Keep your weight on your elbows if you need to, or extend them away, kind of hugging your prop. So really important that that right shin stays perpendicular to the top of your mat. It should not be down towards your left leg. Keep it there. Let's hold for a few breaths. So we're going to hold this posture for a few breaths. This allows us to really start to target the areas that are tight when we do our pigeon. So there's different places you might feel this. One is in your forward leg, or 2 in your left hip. So if you're feeling this in your left hip, like I am, then just be gentle, be kind. If the left hip starts saying, yeah, I don't love this too much, quit it, then you want to adjust. But if the left hip is just like, I don't know, this feels kind of funky, but it's okay, I can hold, I can hang, then just let it be. Let the forehead rest and relax here. One place you want to make sure you don't feel this posture is in your knees. So your knees should be comfortable, safe. You shouldn't feel any pain, any sharpness or anything like that in your knees. Make the left side of your body a little bit heavier. If you start to feel like you're dumping your weight to the right, lengthen through that left side body. And then slowly inhale, lift the head, walk the hands up, finding a nice straight back. Let's do a little counter stretch. So bring your weight over towards the left side. Hold on to ankle, hold on to knee, and twist your body. Again, being very gentle. If you can go a little deeper, maybe left hand around, right hand towards left ankle. Twist here. Our right leg hasn't really moved yet. And exhale, coming back to center. We're gonna switch to the other side. So just simply either change your foot to face the same direction or change your prop to the other place behind you. So I'm just gonna turn this way so you guys have a little different angle. Depending on how tight your knees are, this knee may not come all the way to the floor, so you might feel like this knee is lifted like this. That's a possibility if your hips are really tight. So again, we work with what we got. We try to move kindly with love and with patience. So that right leg is behind you. If you can, bring that right knee so that it is kind of perpendicular to your left shin. Otherwise, it slides forward just a tiny bit to give you room. In this side, I can go a little bit further back, so I'll try that. Make sure that that left shin is parallel to the top of your mat. And then go ahead and come down. So see this side, there's no way I can bring my elbows to the floor. So I'm just gonna bring my hands out to the sides and try to find as much of that level shoulders as I can. If you're able to bring your head down to the block or to your cushion, then by all means do that and rest there. So this kind of warm up into our pigeons, really, really good for us to learn about our bodies, where our limitations lie, and how far we can take each posture, as opposed to coming right into the pigeon and then maybe hurting our hips or hurting our knees or doing something that isn't going to feel good. I notice as I stay, see, I couldn't do it before, but as I stay, my elbows are able to come down a little bit more. And again, trying not to dump all your weight to the left, but keeping that right side of your body heavy this time. And then again, stay there. No pain in your knees at all. Your knees are out of the equation in this one. This should be all hips here. Maybe a little bit into your left glute, depending on how tight your left glute is. If your elbows are on the floor, you're definitely welcome to bring some weight to the elbows. Always making that right side, the inside part of your body heavy. Leaning forward, if the forehead can come to the block or to the cushion, then bring it there and rest there for a few breaths. If it doesn't, it's okay for the head to hang in midair. You can close your eyes and fill your body with a sense of stillness and surrender. It's the more difficult postures that challenge us. And if you find this posture easy, then challenge yourself by going deeper, by moving that right knee further back, or by bringing more of your chest to the block instead of your forehead. You can always make the posture A little bit more challenging or a little bit more accessible. A few more breaths. And then inhale, slowly lift up, walk the hands in, find length in your spine. Let's go for that twist to the right side. So take right hand to foot or ankle, left hand to knee, and lengthen spine, find rotation. If you have room to go a little deeper, right hand behind, left hand closer to foot. As you rotate, look back over right shoulder. The left leg really hasn't moved yet. The left knee may have come up a little bit. That's okay. And then exhale, coming back. Good. Release that right foot forward. Let's do something even here, Baddha Konasana, before we go into our full pigeon. So soles of the feet together. Lengthen up through spine. I'll turn to face you guys. So if you have nice open hips, your knees may touch the floor. If you're like me and your hips are like, no, ma'am, not today. You got to work a few more 100 years to get those knees down. Then let them be wherever they're going to be. Hold on either to the feet by your toes, or if you want, by your ankles. And then you're going to pull the elbows kind of in between the hips all the way back. So lengthening through spine. The nice tall spine. And at that point, you can decide if you want to come forward a little bit or if you want to stay upright. Your choice. If you have a little bit of flexibility, bring that chest down. You can bring that chest all the way down to the feet if you got the flexibility. Open back through chest and shoulders, chin up, all the way down. Find your stretch. And then we're going to bring the elbows on the insides of the shins so that the hands are still holding on to the feet. And then making a little diamond shape with your arms. And then maybe seeing if you have room to come forward just a little bit more. You're stretching here into the inner thighs, the groin. Shoulders soften back. Breathe easy. And inhale, slowly lift up. All right, we're ready for our pigeon. So bring the knees together. Let's come onto hands and knees. All right, so let's do our pigeon on the right side first. If you know that this is tough for you, like I know I'm getting ready for all my setup here, you're gonna place a block or a bolster underneath on the right side so that you can place it underneath your right hip. Then we're gonna take that right foot forward so that the knee and the foot are somewhat at least parallel to the top of your mat. So kind of similar to what we did before. Now you're on your left knee, you're gonna slide that left leg back. As you slide the left leg back, you'll find your prop, you can adjust it, place it right underneath you. Be mindful of that right foot. It likes to come down. So once you're there, you can bring hands on either sides, kind of just settle in to your posture. Look behind you, make sure that left foot is pointing straight back. Roll the weight to the left hip. You can stay here, or you can bring your elbows down towards the mat. So again, making sure that that right foot stays high, because it does like to slide down. Take your time to make any adjustments that you feel fit here. So if you find your weight all the way dumping over onto your right side, just make the left side of your body heavy. And you're gonna feel this deep into your left inner hip there, your left hip flexor. Inside, even deeper, there is another muscle called the psoas, iliopsoas muscle. And I guess that's where we're trying to target here today. But it's a deep, deep muscle. So we have to kind of hold and be patient. You're also going to feel this perhaps in your right glute. If you feel it in your right glute, it's okay. That's part of where our posture needs to live today. Maybe your forehead can come all the way to the floor by extending your arms forward. If that's possible, do it. Otherwise, if it causes any kind of not a pain sensation, but like a sensation like you might need to come out of the posture sooner, then it's better to just remain on your elbows, because we want to stay in the posture a little bit longer to give our bodies the chance to open up. Fan out through shoulders, lengthen through head, keep drawing in through belly. That left leg is long. Few breaths here. One more inhale. And exhale. See if you can start to soften through the shoulders as you release your upper body down. Just be aware and notice that the longer we hold the posture, the more accessible it becomes to us. Quiet the mind, calm your thoughts. The mind will always play tricks on us. It'll tell us we can't hold, we can't be in here. Learn to discern from the thoughts in your mind which ones we should listen to and which ones we shouldn't. And then exhale, pressing into hands, slowly lifting up, bringing hands to either sides of your body, realigning that left hip forward a little bit here. And then exhale, start to bring your weight back. See if you can stake your right foot forward. So now the right leg is extended. Slide it forward, exhale, fold. So just stretching to the back of that right leg. You're on your left knee now. You can take the hands forward. Reaching chin towards shin, top of the head towards toes. Walk the hands in, slide that right foot back, come to tabletop. Let's take a moment here to push up into downward facing, just to even out the body on both sides. Pedal out and walk out your downward facing dog. So sway the hips, move, bend into knees. Whatever feels good, notice how the left hip feels in comparison to the right. And then we're gonna go ahead and move to the other side. So bringing weight down, move your prop to the left side, take that left knee forward, sit down on your left hip and slide that left foot forward so that your left shin is nice and parallel to the top of your mat. So from here, right leg extends back. You might need to bring your left knee down, make little adjustments here. On this side, it's really hard for me to get that foot up, so I'm just gonna let it slide down a bit as I adjust. But once you're ready, making sure that your left hip is supported, you can kind of walk that left foot back up and then find your pigeon. So again, either hand on either side of the body. As you press into that right leg, look back, make sure there's no bend in the right ankle. Keep the spine nice and straight. Find that nice length in back. Take your time to settle in. It's just every day is going to be a little bit different. When you're ready, bringing the elbows down and finding your pigeon on this side. Using the props to support us as we come into these postures is really, really important. And I know in a lot of classes you don't use props. I love the use of props. I think it makes the postures accessible for those of us that don't have the flexibility or the strength yet to move into the asana easily. As you hold here, be mindful already that left foot of mine has started to really slide down. So you have to be diligent with your practice, making sure that, you know, you make adjustments as you hold the posture. And again, if you want to walk the elbows forward, bring the forehead down. That's your choice. It's up to you. I'm going to stay on my elbows. I want to keep the posture intact as best I can. You're always welcome to release the head down. The asanas that are difficult for us are our best teachers. They teach us so much about not just our own kind of willpower and ability to move into difficulty, but also how we react to it. So if you're in this posture and it's easy for you, how are you reacting to that ease? Are you looking to intensify it, or are you just surrendering to it and enjoying it? Not that either one is bad or good, it's just a way for you to react to the posture. So noticing those things as we hold our asanas are really, really important. This is where the true practice of yoga comes in, the deep looking inward. the observational part of our practice. This is where the meditative part of our practice comes in. Noticing the quality of your thoughts as you maintain. Becoming aware of any part of your body that may not feel quite right, adjusting to make sure that you accommodate for that body part. So we always look at the physical, we look at the mental, and we check in with our feelings. How are you feeling? It's a beautiful day today, even though it's cloudy. It's really nice. Birds are chirping. It's just a gentle breeze moving through the air. A few more breaths here if you can. And then slowly exhale, pressing the hands into the floor, lifting up halfway, finding that right hip, moving it forward, shoulders rolling back. And then slowly sliding onto that right leg, lifting the left knee, extend the left leg forward and take a moment to straighten left leg. As we straighten left leg, exhale, bend chin towards shin, drawing that left hip back. Maybe walking the fingertips forward, creating a little bit more length in the spine. And then exhale, take it forward. Bring the left foot back to our tabletop. Tuck toes under, press up to downward facing. Pedal it out, walk it out, move it around. Whatever feels right for you here. And then slowly bringing your weight back down. Let's go into an easy balasana. So separate your knees wide, big toes touch, hips all the way down to the heels, arms bend forward. You can bring the elbows to the floor or extend them further, forehead to the floor. If you don't want any weight on your arms, you can reach your arms straight, palms down. And slowly as you inhale, roll your weight up, walk your hands in towards your body, bring your knees together. We're gonna come into our hero's pose, so make sure that you're seated down on top of your heels. Knees are together, arms extended to the knees, shoulders roll back, lengthen through spine. Gaze down through bridge of your nose. Let's come back to our Ujjayi breath here. Inhale. Hold at the top briefly and exhale. Relax the shoulders. Inhale. And exhale. Last one, inhale. Exhale. And then releasing, we're gonna go into a little twist. So from our hero's pose, just bumping the hips to the left, so we bring the left hip down and slide the feet slightly out so that your right hip is on the floor as well. We're gonna go for an easy twist, holding on to right foot and right knee. Rotate torso, or if you like, you can take that right arm around for a half bind, bringing it to your left thigh. Then you can reach a little further back towards your right foot with your left hand. Find rotation here in body. And exhale, coming to center. We'll do the same thing on the other side. This time it's really easy to lean, so keep your body nice and straight. Right hand to left knee. Left hand can reach around finding the space behind you, or again, if you wish, going into that half bind, reaching for your right hip. And then exhale, coming to center, coming back through to hero's pose. Take a moment here in the middle. Notice how everything feels. And then we'll go to the other side. So feet bump to the left, hips come to the right. Slide the feet slightly out so that the left hip can be on the floor. It's going to be elevated slightly, but you're not leaning all the way to the right. You're nice and square. And then we go right hand, left knee, left hand, left ankle, or reach around for your bind. Looking behind you, lengthening through spine. You can take that right hand closer to the ankle if you wish. Once you have it though, think about extending through spine. Try not to round into your posture. You always want to move with the exhale when you go into your twist. So inhale, lengthen, and then exhale, rotate. And slowly, gently coming back through the center, getting ready for the other side. So very easy to kind of just lean, reassess your body. Left hand onto right knee, right hand behind you, find that lift in the torso, roll right shoulder back, or take right hand around, find your left side hip or waist. If you need that hand behind you, you can always just keep it behind you. It helps to support your spine and keep you nice and straight up. Remember, the exhale drives you into the twist. The inhale lengthens your spine. And slowly coming back through the center. Let's release the legs, extend them down. Coming all the way onto the back. Take a moment here as you release your head down to the floor. Keep your knees bent for a moment. Open your eyes, gaze up towards your ceiling or towards the sky. Leave your hands resting at your belly. Let your knees fall on top of each other, supporting each other as the hips relax now. Bring into your awareness a deep sense of gratitude. It's always good to begin and end our practice with gratitude. I find that when I do that, my yoga carries on with me throughout the rest of the day. Keeping that sense of gratitude in our hearts. Exhale, bring the knees into the chest. Roll around a couple times. We'll do a happy baby to end here. So let the knees open wide, tracking over your shoulders. Pull them in. You reach inside the knees, grab the pinky toe sides of your foot or your ankles if you can't find the feet. From here, exhale, lift your heels and find your happy baby. Sometimes the happy baby feels more like a grumpy baby, so you might want to sway side to side to give it a little soothing, a little relaxation. And then find your center, shoulders rolling back, tailbone pressing down, gazing up towards skies. Again, filling your body, your heart, your mind with that deep, deep sense of gratitude. And then exhale, release the feet down. Let the legs extend, coming into your Shavasana. Sure I have enough room underneath me. Once your arms are down by your sides, legs are extended. Let the feet flop out to the side. So there's really no tension here in the hips. You can bring your hands to your hips to make sure that they feel relaxed. Sometimes a little bit of a rub or wiggling in the hips helps to soften them. And there's no tension in your quads. They're soft as well. No tension in your knees, calves, or shins, ankles, or feet, or toes. Same with your shoulders, they're totally soft. You can close your eyes here as we settle into the body, allowing the weight of the body to fall onto the mat. We are supported by our mat, by the earth below our mat. Slowly with the next exhale breath, let's draw our awareness back into our bodies. Kind of putting our physical form back on like a new outfit. And let's just test it out by adding a little bit of movement to the fingers, to the toes. A little bit of movement to the hands and feet, the wrists and the ankle. As you exhale, bring your feet together so your knees and legs are side by side. Point through your toes and then inhale, arms up overhead. Reach the arms up as you reach down through the feet, lengthening your entire body. Feel the pull. You can reach a little bit more through the right side, a little bit more through the left, maybe a little bit diagonal, and then other side. Maybe all equal, both legs and both arms reaching equally up and down, away, stretching the entire body. And then exhale, bend the knees, let the hands come down. Again, the feet, knees touching, feet apart, feet planted on the floor, hands at your belly. Feel a movement of breath as the belly rises and falls. Bringing the knees into the chest, giving yourself one last tight hug. Rolling around maybe here, and then exhale, roll over to the right. You can take your right arm as a pillow, left arm in front. Take a few breaths. And then exhaling, pressing into left hand, slowly making your way up, coming into a comfortable cross-legged seated position. You can use your bolster or your blanket underneath your hips if it's close by. Letting your knees relax out, hands on the knees, shoulders soften. Coming back into that same stance, the same Sukhasana posture we started off with. Perhaps you feel slightly different or a world different from when you started. Again, observe, no judgment. No need to analyze or explain. Simple observation of emotion, physical sensations. As we exhale, we draw the palms towards each other, symbolizing that union of body, mind, and spirit. Letting the palms press against each other as the shoulders soften. We'll exhale together the next breath away, releasing with it any tension or tightness or anything that simply does not serve us. And then as we inhale, we prepare for Om. Namaste.